Hey, Soul Tribe, it's your Soul Coach, Jeremy Ryden, hoping you're healing deeply and living fully. And this is secret number 4 in the Libra Rising Secrets series, where I share information and insight to that dynamic rising sign, Libra. So if you're a Venetian soul, subscribe below. Ring that notification bell so you don't miss any future life lessons for Libra Rising. You know, in this series, we've been talking about the life purpose, the wealth, the happiness of being born a Libra riser. Today, we're going to look at the 4th aim taught in the Hindu tradition. Master these 4 areas and you master your life. Today's secret is moksha, or the enlightenment, the spirituality, the personal soul growth of a Libra riser. In traditional astrology, when you're looking at seeing how someone grows spiritually, how they're able to free their soul from the illusions of this world and really connect to what matters eternally, we look at the water houses, which is 4, 8, and 12. These are the traditional water houses, or the spiritual houses in a natal chart. So you want to look at the planets that you got in 4, 8, and 12 to get a little insight into how you're going to grow spiritually, what's going to trigger maybe your spiritual awakening. And those are great things to look at. But for all Libra risers, when we use whole house astrology, it's the water signs that show us how you reach an enlightenment. And for you Libra risers, the water sign is 2, 6, and 10. The 2nd house you have in Scorpio, the 6th house you have in Pisces, and the 10th house you have in Cancer. What are some of the general information for Libra risers when it comes to their enlightenment? Notice this: normally 2, 6, and 10 are the money houses, the career houses, the houses of your values, the things you want to obtain in life. This lets us know that your work, the work that you engage in, the things that you're doing to make money, how you go about making money, plays a role in your spirituality. You know, I had a comment a few days ago in one of my videos where it said, why are you talking about money and spirituality? Money is just a man-made concept and has nothing to do with spirituality. And that's wrong, my friend. Everything is spiritual. Everything is energy. Everything on this earth, even though it may be very materialistic, very physical, or very practical, it can still have a spiritual application. And many spiritual lessons are learned through money, Libra risers, like what? Integrity, fairness, justice, honesty. These are things that are really attached to money. You want to know what someone values? Look at where they spend their money. Notice the 2nd house has your Scorpio in it. So a lot of your spirituality, right, is around crisis with money, or crisis around your values, meaning that because Scorpio rules 8th house crisis, change, and transformation, we see that a lot of times for a Libra riser, that it's crisis around the finances, or crisis around their confidence, or crisis around liking or valuing something, but no longer needing it and disregarding it for higher values. These are things that lead to the ultimate spiritual growth of a Libra riser. And then you look at that 6th house, it was Pisces. So, Pisces ruled by Neptune, ruled by spirituality, imagination, idealism. 6th house is everyday work and what we're doing with our health. A lot of Libra risers, you will become more enlightened through having a more holistic approach to your spirituality, mind, body, and spirit. 6th house is a house of health. So it's a lot of times when Libra risers start really asking themselves, my body is a temple of spirit, and I want to live a happy life, a long life, a productive life, so I got to treat my body good. And so they begin to look about health and dietitian and things that they can realize that if I feel good in my body, I'll feel good in my spirit. If I feel good in my spirit, then, I'll make better decisions. So it's that holistic approach through mind, body, and spirit that you see like meditation, yoga, things that we can do physically. And that also opens up that third eye, opens up that level of connecting to spirit. So what's really interesting is even though when we talk about spirituality and we look at a lot of lofty ideas and a lot of things on the other side of the veil or otherworldly, Libras, their spirituality is very practical. Yes, they may believe in angels, God, miracles, healings, but it's really, 2, 6, and 10 are very physical earth plane. So Libras really like to see things that are their faith working in a practical way. They want to see it working. They want to see evidence of the things they're hoping for, that what they believe really does work. And so it's really good to see Libra risers because they live their faith on an everyday level. And that sixth house shows us that a lot of Libra risers also gain enlightenment through their enemies, because sixth house rules enemies. So it's through being attacked by your enemies that you may call on God or call on spirit or really break down to be built back up. And so, challenges for a Libra riser, these are things, as I was telling someone the other day, a lot of times it's our struggles that leads us to spirituality. It's our suffering that leads us to spirituality. And so with that sixth house, we see that even when people come against you, it's dealing with your oppositions from other people, that you're still connecting to higher source, higher power, connecting to your faith. And that's really interesting. Also, pets. Sixth house rules pets. So a lot of Libra risers, they understand the world and God and the universe through nature, but through pets, watching animals and being close to their dogs or other animals. They really realize, why can't we treat one another like dogs treat, their owners? What do you get if you spell dog backwards? God, right? And so they realize that a lot of animals have a lot of loving, kind, and very generous nature. And so Libra risers can really learn a lot through being pet owners or being around animals. Now we go to that 10th house, ruled by Cancer. 10th house, we know, is what? Career, it's your reputation. But on a higher level, the 10th house is your calling. It's your higher purpose in life. And so Libra risers get an enlightenment, a spiritual connection when they hear a calling from the universe, from God, from source, when they say, this is why I'm on earth. This is my purpose. And so when they throw themselves into their calling, into their purpose, into their work and their job and their task and projects, it's by doing these things that they really are able to feel connected to spirit. I just put a quote up earlier that said, the purpose of being born is to serve humanity. And you Libra risers know this better than anybody. When they're really doing things with other people for a higher calling, a higher purpose, they feel connected to God. They feel connected to their source. And it's a beautiful thing to watch with Libra risers. So with that being said, to see how your enlightenment is taking place, to see how things are going with your emotions, because water rules what? Emotions, feelings, intuition. To see how your intuition, emotions, and feelings are being affected when it comes to your soul personal growth, look for the planets that are in 2, 6, and 10. These planets, even if they represent something, physical, like Mercury represents not necessarily God, but it represents business. But if it's in that 2nd, 6th, 10th house in your water signs, we know that now that could be spiritual business, because all these planets, no matter what they represent, if they're in the water sign, there's an element of spirituality, intuition, feeling, emotion, a higher purpose connected to that planet. And you just begin to figure out how that plays out. Now, traditionally, you want to look to the planets in 4, 8, and 12. Why? Because that's the traditional Moshka liberation spiritual houses. So you got like half the chart to look at to get a better idea how God could connect to you or how you could connect to God. 4, 8, and 12, or 2, 6, and 10, the water signs. And what's also really interesting is with that Scorpio being in the 2nd house. Remember, Scorpio rules the occult. And so you'll see that a lot of Libra risers, you can connect to your spirituality through astrology, through numerology, through tarot cards, through all these other taboo subjects or hidden knowledge. What I like to say, hidden knowledge that leads to transformation. you look at astrology and you realize I can really transform my life by learning this information. And so I'm glad if you're on here, subscribe to my channel, Libra Risers, because it's not just for you learning your sun sign. It really is for you learning what is my calling, what is my purpose, how can I really make money, but make money in a way that's making an impact into the world. Also, with that Scorpio in second, 8th house rules sex. So a lot of Scorpio risers, their spirituality is coming through that tantric sex, that sexual union. That's why Libra risers, when they really are intimate with someone, there is the ability to really have a spiritual experience in their lovemaking and take it to a whole another level, deeper level, higher level. Not that there's anything wrong with just, all different types of sex or connection, but you do have the possibility of having a mind, heart, body, spirit, soul connection in lovemaking. And that is a way of enlightenment for you. Man, there's so much more I can go into, but for your own personal study, for your own enlightenment, for your own connection to spirit, once again, look to those 2, 6, and 10. See how your work is playing into you connecting to God. See how you are, out there connecting with animals, how you're out there connecting on a sexual level, how you're connecting with the hidden information. These things will help you have your aha moment. We'll see you in the next video, Secret 5, coming up soon.